Many people believe sleep is simple. You close your eyes, you sleep, you wake up refreshed. But for millions of people, something strange happens. They sleep through the night, 7 hours, 8 hours, sometimes even more. Yet when morning arrives, they feel exhausted, heavy, foggy, unrest. It raises a confusing question. If you slept long enough, why do you still feel tired? The answer lies in how sleep actually works. Sleep is not a single state. It is a complex cycle of biological stages. Throughout the night, the brain moves through different patterns of activity: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Each stage performs a different function. Deep sleep restores the body. REM sleep restores the mind. Light sleep transitions the brain between cycles. A typical night contains 4 to 6 of these cycles. When these cycles occur smoothly, sleep feels refreshing, but when the cycles are disrupted, sleep may occur without proper restoration. This is one of the most common reasons people wake up tired, even if the total sleep time appears sufficient. The structure of sleep may be unstable. One cause of unstable sleep is fragmentation. Fragmentation occurs when the brain repeatedly wakes during the night. These awakenings may be so brief that you do not remember them, but the brain remembers. Each interruption breaks the continuity of sleep cycles. Instead of progressing smoothly through deep and REM stages, the brain must restart the process again and again. The result is sleep without full recovery. Another factor involves deep sleep. Deep sleep is the stage when the brain produces slow delta waves. These waves signal that neurons are synchronizing their activity. During this stage, growth hormone is released, tissue repair accelerates, the immune system strengthens, energy stores are replenished. If deep sleep is shortened, the body may wake up feeling physically tired, even if total sleep time was long enough. Deep sleep often occurs earlier in the night. This means that late bedtimes can reduce the amount of deep sleep the brain receives. REM sleep plays a different role. It is strongly connected to emotional regulation and cognitive integration. During REM sleep, the brain processes experiences from the day. Emotional memories are revisited and gradually softened. Ideas connect with one another in creative ways. If REM sleep is shortened, emotional balance may suffer. People may wake feeling mentally drained even if their bodies feel rested. Another reason people wake up tired is circadian misalignment. The body follows an internal clock that regulates sleep timing. This clock is controlled by a structure in the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It uses signals like light and darkness to maintain a daily rhythm. When sleep occurs outside the natural circadian window, restoration becomes less efficient. For example, sleeping during the day may not provide the same quality of recovery as sleeping at night, even if the number of hours is identical. This is why shift workers often report persistent fatigue. Their sleep timing conflicts with the body's biological expectations. Light exposure also influences sleep quality. Artificial light at night can suppress melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that signals the body that it is time to sleep. When melatonin production is delayed, sleep cycles may begin later and become less stable. Screens are particularly powerful sources of artificial light. Phones, tablets, laptops. These devices emit blue light, which the brain interprets as daylight. Using screens late at night can delay the brain's internal clock. Sleep may still occur, but its structure may change. Another factor involves stress. Stress activates the sympathetic nervous system. This is the part of the nervous system responsible for alertness and survival responses. When stress remains elevated, the body stays partially in a state of vigilance. Heart rate remains higher, breathing becomes shallower, muscle tension increases. Even during sleep, the brain may remain partially alert. This reduces the depth of sleep cycles. As a result, people may wake up feeling as though they never truly rested. Sleep inertia can also play a role. Sleep inertia is the groggy feeling that occurs when waking from deep sleep. If an alarm interrupts sleep during a slow wave stage, the brain may need several minutes to fully activate. During this time, thinking feels slower, coordination feels heavier, the mind feels foggy. Sleep inertia usually fades within 15 to 30 minutes, but if sleep cycles are irregular, this groggy feeling may persist longer. Another hidden cause of morning fatigue is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition in which breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. Each pause in breathing triggers a brief awakening in the brain. These awakenings may occur dozens or even hundreds of times per night. Most people do not remember them. but the brain cannot reach stable deep sleep when breathing is constantly interrupted. As a result, sleep becomes fragmented. The person may sleep for 8 hours yet still wake up exhausted. Nutrition and metabolism also influence sleep quality. Heavy meals late at night can increase body temperature and digestive activity. This may disrupt sleep cycles. Alcohol can also affect sleep. While alcohol may initially make people feel sleepy, it suppresses REM sleep later in the night. The brain receives less cognitive restoration. Morning fatigue becomes more likely. Caffeine can have similar effects, even when consumed hours earlier. Caffeine may remain active in the body. It blocks adenosine receptors, reducing sleep pressure. Sleep may still occur, but it may be lighter, less restorative. Another factor involves sleep consistency. The brain thrives on routine. When sleep and wake times change frequently, circadian rhythms become unstable. The body struggles to predict when rest should occur. As a result, sleep may feel less refreshing, even if total hours remain similar. Perhaps the most important idea is that sleep quality matters more than sleep quantity. 8 hours of fragmented sleep may feel worse than 6 hours of stable sleep cycles. The brain does not only count time, it measures restoration. When the architecture of sleep remains intact, the brain wakes feeling clear and balanced. When the architecture breaks down, fatigue lingers. But the encouraging news is that sleep quality can improve. Consistent sleep schedules help stabilize circadian rhythms. Reducing evening light allows melatonin to rise naturally. Managing stress lowers nighttime vigilance. Avoiding heavy meals and caffeine before bed improves sleep stability. Over time, these changes allow the brain to rebuild healthy sleep cycles. And when those cycles return, something remarkable happens. Morning feels different. The mind feels clearer. The body feels lighter. Energy returns naturally, because sleep was never simply about the number of hours spent in bed. It was always about the hidden processes that occur while the mind is at rest. When those processes unfold smoothly, the brain wakes restored, ready to think, ready to feel, ready to experience the world again. Another reason people wake up tired involves the brain's internal transition between sleep and wakefulness. Waking up is not an instant event, it is a gradual neurological process. When the alarm sounds, the brain must shift from the slow electrical patterns of sleep to the faster activity of full consciousness. Several brain regions participate in this transition. The brainstem activates alertness networks. The hypothalamus releases signals that increase wakefulness. Cortisol levels begin to rise, helping the body prepare for the day. Blood pressure increases slightly. Body temperature begins to climb. All of these changes help the brain move from sleep into wakefulness. But this transition does not always occur smoothly. If sleep cycles are disrupted or incomplete, the brain may still be partially in sleep mode when the alarm sounds. This creates a feeling of heaviness in the mind. Thoughts move slowly. Focus feels difficult. The brain is awake, but its networks have not fully synchronized yet. This is one reason why the first moments of the morning can feel confusing or foggy. Another factor involves the consistency of sleep timing. The brain's circadian clock depends heavily on regular signals. When bedtime and wake time change frequently, the internal clock becomes less stable. The brain struggles to predict when sleep should begin and when wakefulness should occur. This unpredictability weakens the rhythm of the sleep cycle. Even if sleep duration remains similar, irregular timing can reduce sleep quality. Morning fatigue often follows. Environmental factors can also influence how refreshed we feel. Temperature, noise, and light exposure affect the depth of sleep cycles. A room that is too warm can prevent the body from reaching optimal deep sleep. Sudden noise can cause brief awakenings that interrupt sleep. Architecture. Excessive light may signal the brain that it is time to wake earlier than intended. Even small disturbances can accumulate across the night. The brain may still sleep, but the cycles become less stable. Another subtle factor involves mental activity before bed. The brain does not instantly slow down when the body lies down. If the mind remains active, planning, worrying, or processing information, sleep may begin with heightened brain activity. This can reduce the depth of early sleep stages. When the brain enters the night already stimulated, restoration becomes less efficient. The mind may technically sleep, but the quality of that sleep may be lower. Morning fatigue can also reflect cumulative sleep debt. Even if a single night includes enough hours, the brain may still be recovering from previous nights of restricted sleep. Sleep debt does not disappear immediately. The brain repays it gradually over several nights of consistent rest. Until that balance is restored, waking may still feel difficult. But as sleep cycles stabilize, something begins to change. Asterisk.